fucking recording, dude. Rip it.
I can't do it again.
Oh, I'm not recording.
You are recording. I can see the recording button.
Close your eyes, Dylan.
I'm not letting you deceive me, Daniel.
It's all illusion. It's skull to brain frequency waves from your fucking computer.
You were the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy alternative media, not become them.
Yeah. And then I go, Padme, or whatever the fuck he said. No, Padme.
No, I've been successfully targeted.
No, targeted by the Empire.
Targeted by Sidious.
Do it.
Anakin might be the only real targeted individual. He was groomed from childhood.
And it was a galaxy far, far away a long time ago. So, like, he predates any targeted individual that you could possibly have now.
The original targeted individual.
He's the OTI.
That sounds like a STD.
It does, doesn't it? Just nigga gotta have bleach.
Don't inject it into your lungs.
All right. Now for a station break. This episode.
Stop trying to create an illusion, Daniel.
Yes, this episode is brought to you by Perrier lime-flavored carbonated mineral water. 16.9 fluid ounces, 1 pint, 9 fluid ounces, and a bunch of stuff in it that's all 0 calories. Perrier, it's what the non-alternative media drink. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
We're sitting here trying to do... Dude, no, you don't understand. Like, I actually have a studio, and this motherfucker just walked into the next room of the studio from the other room away from the mic. Dude,
are you really complaining about professionalism, Daniel?
Well, I was getting to a punchline, asshole. And then... I would say something, but...
Get to your punchline quicker.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
Otherwise, I might ruin it.
All right, Dylan, you got some shit to say about alternative media as an addendum to what we already said, which was pretty cool, I thought.
It was, but I don't think we hit on the sort of biggest flaw, and that was the alternative media people who ran to Trump's side when he announced his run for president.
Did they have liberty in their stuff?
They did have liberty in their stuff.
Did they not understand that executive orders by anyone, despite whatever party they're from, is so against liberty?
I don't think they did. They also didn't seem to understand that banning an entire group of people from coming into the country or building a wall are also antithetical to liberty.
So, okay. I mean, me and you know me, dude. I don't like really talking about Trump that much because it really is a cartoon. But me and you were talking about off the air, which means we didn't have the record button on a Skype conversation. You were talking about, or we were discussing the rationalization that people who previously in the alternative media made a platform for themselves based off of liberty as the founding fathers would understand it, how could they do a complete 180 in support of the current CEO of a company in the District of Columbia? And you had some probably more poignant things to say about it than I did, which is, go ahead, I don't want to steal your thunder.
No, I mean, I have a couple theories. None of them are all that flattering.
He's honest, man. I love that.
So there are sort of three options. They realized, oh, I might actually be able to make money off of the Trump grifters, which frankly is probably a lot of them. And I think they misunderstood that every single one of them was going to be making that calculation. So it was really just going to zero out in the end. The other two are, frankly, really unflattering. They wanted somebody who said all the racist shit they were thinking.
No, say it ain't so.
And all the people who promoted the war between Muslims and Christians and the invasion of Muslims into the West. Like, come on, those are the people I'm talking about. They wanted somebody who said the racist shit they said.
Is the term correct to say racist against people of Islamic faith? Because like if you say
Islamophobic, fair enough.
Okay, so let me make sure I got what you're saying. Is that prior to the Trumpster, these certain figures, and let me make sure I got the script right. These certain figures in the alternative media had some type of a closet fetish where they were either afraid or just anti-Islamic and wanted to say some very ignorant shit out of a place of never fucking reading the Quran, never personally getting to know a Muslim, never getting to understand what their spirituality is whatsoever, to understand that their very faith dictates that we are not the enemy. People of the book are Christians and Jews, and they have no issue with us. So these people secretly that were harboring this ignorance wanted to say some really fucked up shit against an entire culture, but didn't feel that they could until Donald Trump word vomited that shit first.
No. Okay, so thank you for sort of giving your interpretation, because no, that's actually not what I meant.
I'm trying to
I want to make it clear. I want to make it clear what I meant. They were already saying those things. Mm-hmm. And they saw somebody in power echoing it. So they thought, oh, he's an actual outsider, despite the fact that he's a billionaire real estate developer from New York. Mm-hmm. They mistake racism for outsider. And then they further mistake that for liberty.
You might have a point. I think I told you this story when we were off the air, but I have a story too. Dylan, you want to hear it? You got how many minutes?
I got 8. Go.
You got 8 for your bedtime. I don't think it's your bedtime. I think that you're a fucking, like, at night. Like I think your super secret ego, like you're doing the Clark Kent fucking Superman thing or Clark Kent Batman thing or whatever. I think
anything I'm doing a Professor X thing.
Yeah, Professor X thing. You're like, I gotta go to bad, and I'm like, this motherfucker. I know what he's really doing. He's going down to First Street, and he's like, bitch, give me my money. This is like,
that's why I'm so poor.
Oh, don't break the illusion, dude. You're supposed to be anyway.
I've never pretended I'm the most popular alternative media outlet in the world.
We should start pretending.
We should.
That way, what we could do is like we could bring very weak-minded and feeble-minded people who need outside saviors to themselves towards us, and then they can ding our Patreon. You want to do it?
Oh, that's a good idea. We should probably edit this out so people don't hear our plan.
But then that would be evidence, if we edit it out, that we're actually targeted by, I don't know.
I don't know who we're targeted by anymore, but we're definitely targeted by someone.
We're targeted because today I stumped my toe because of a hammer in the floor that I probably put there, but probably didn't. But if I did, it was transmitted into my left filling. Jesus Christ. It's getting so lame of even making jokes.
It kind of is.
Fuck.
Like, Daniel, quit while you're ahead.
What?
While you're ahead.
Way ahead. Believe me. Way ahead to the bank.
It's a joke in the world. I get it.
Like, we have that great Ewan McGregor thing. I think we're good.
That what? Oh yeah, that was pretty gold, wasn't it?
I like to think so, and I never think I'm very funny.
You're funny, dude, Dylan.
Yeah, but you're pretty fucking hilarious. Like, you guys feed off each other, man. It's pretty nice. Y'all got some good charisma.
Dude, when my girl, when she's like, I like that kid that you're talking to, yeah, then you know you got some gold, bro. Okay, so here's the story. So, you know, back in like, I had to be in between 08 and 012. Jesus Christ.
012.
012. I should edit that out. Oh, it's human to make goofs, you fucking morons. Anyway, in between like 08 and 2012, when I would give speeches and do rallies and protests and shit, that, you know, the local militia around here, they would kind of go with me and stand on my flanks and everything to make sure, you know, I got to exercise my First Amendment while they showed proof of a Second Amendment, which is there to protect the First Amendment if it fails. But, I was pretty, I respected these guys. They were all ex-military and they trained literally every single week, and I still respect them um, because they understand what a real militia is and what it's for. And they're not, a bunch of guys out in the fucking woods playing toy soldiers. These are actually veterans who know what the fuck they're doing, and they're ready in the event that some bad shit happens, or as they say, the shit hits the fan. They're ready to do what they can with their training to help the country, to help
Yeah.
the republic. But we had a disagreement on this issue that kind of feeds back into Trump and Islamophobia and everything. And it was when I had kind of semi quasi hung up my activist spurs. I turned on the news one day, like the local news, and saw, there was a protest, and I forget what county it was here in Georgia. But there was a protest, and the armed militia was there as a part of the protest. And these were the same guys who were on my flanks prior. And the reason they were protesting was because a handful of Muslims in this Georgia community had went to the owner of a strip mall, and they were going to rent store space to have like a local mosque for themselves. And the militia here in Georgia was there to protest it. So I called up my guy who ran it, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm not going to say his name here, but I was like, hey, dude, but what is this stuff that I see on the news about you protesting a handful of Muslims in whatever county, Baldwin County or whatever it was, from opening up a mosque? What the fuck? Oh, well, they want Sharia law, and that's going to uproot our republic." And I'm like, dude, you got to be consistent with your liberty. You may not like what they believe. You may not agree with it. You may misunderstand it, and from that understanding, there's fear. But if you're there with weapons, which is your right to do, it's your right to protest, you should be there to protect their right to contract privately with a business owner, but that's between them to open up the
Yeah.
mosque, you know. And they
Yeah.
didn't get it, and of course they haven't spoken to me since because I took that position. But that's when I kind of realized, I think a lot of the rhetoric from alternative media came from fear and
Yeah.
ignorance of Islam.
Can I tell a story
Of course you can.
about when I realized that was the case? It was not the same story. It was, I think, New Year's 2016. There were a bunch of stabbings in Australia um, on New Year's Day by a group of Muslim guys,
Fuck.
and the people in this group that I was in at the time. Now, if a Christian had done this, I know because I've seen it happen, they would have said, "Oh, it's a false flag." Because it was a Muslim doing it, they said, "See, Islam is evil and violent." And I I said, "Wait, but you've always said these are false flags when it's a Christian doing it. Why is this any different?" And they said, "Oh, Muslims are violent. It's just in their nature." And I went, "Oh, so okay, I got it now. You're all just ignorant." Uh, Understood.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
I really just think that, I don't know, Muslims aren't the only group that I think alternative media has sort of scapegoated, but that's definitely, other than Jewish people, that's the central group that they've like turned their ire on. And if a leader targets that group with rhetoric, alternative media is totally on board. We're seeing the fruits of that with Trump,
um,
I think.
I don't have any letters after my name. Um, I mean, I am an ordained minister, but that means nothing. It just means I can, whatever. But okay, how do I want to say what I'm about to say? What got me out of the Baptist church? One of the things that got me out of the Baptist church was sitting in congregations after 9/11, and I'm hearing from the pulpits that what our country is doing through force in foreign countries that are filled with people who may look a little different than us, that I've never met, that I don't have a problem with, that carpet bombing their weddings and their cities and stuff is of God because they're all demon possessed. And I'm sitting here going, I'm looking at the King James Bible, reading about a guy who has the moniker of the Prince of Peace, and I'm going, I don't think this is consistent. You know?
I Yeah,
I mean, I don't see
story
Jesus carpet bombing 6-year-old kids because they're brown skinned and call God Allah.
depends on honestly depends on what Jesus.
I'm talking about the, you know what I mean.
I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We're on the same page, bro. But
Yes.
God, where else was I going with that? Because it was taking me to a darker place. But it's because I would watch around 2009 when YouTube really started coming into my awareness. I would watch, man, some of these fucking videos of these kids blown to fucking bits and fathers and mothers wailing, holding dismembered children in their arms. And I'm listening to I'm watching it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where's this coming from? And then Ron Paul comes along around that time, or resurfaces around that time, and I'm like, yeah, dude, this is liberty. This guy's talking about liberty, and I always talk about Ron Paul because pull up his speeches, man. That's liberty. It's no party affiliation. It's fucking common sense. It's like what the fuck? What did a 6-year-old in Afghanistan have to do with you that you felt it was necessary to fucking blow up his arms and legs, man? Because of ignorance and fear, because a box on your fucking tabletop told you to. Makes no sense, man. You know?
Oh shit, boy.
We could hear you laughing, Kai Wong. Is that laughter in agreements with blown up babies? What the fuck?
Oh no, dude, the mushrooms are just really kicking in pretty good right now. This is a pretty cool room you got.
Oh my god, this kid's so far up there on mushrooms right now, Dylan.
Oh,
Sorry, I was muted. I'm back.
I know, I could hear you do that. But you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I have my disagreements with Ron Paul, but yeah, he was definitely he held true to his principles no matter what other people said. And frankly, I thought that's what alternative media was. And then with the Trump age, I realized that's not at all what it was.
no,
And
dude. Look, this is alternative media. And I'm not going to make any punchlines with it because this is my honest to God serious evaluation of the entire. And I'm not talking about everybody who does media that's not sponsored by like household cleaning products. That's something we're talking about.
no, but you know who alternative media is.
Yeah, anybody who seems like they look like Alex Jones's sperm.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
that's a crude way to put it, but incredibly accurate.
Right.
Amazing is what that is.
I mean, that's what it is. If they look like they're wiggling a little like Alex Jones, but trying to make it a little bit different. That's who we're talking about when we say alternative media. These, um, hey guys, I got brand new news for you. The Federal Reserve's not federal. Yeah, dude, we knew that like fucking years ago. You're not. It's like you believe that you just discovered water, and you're like trying to tell the village it's water, and we're like, yeah, dude, we drink it all the time. These guys, or Big Pharma. It's like, yeah, dude, we know Big Pharma is full of shit, and we just don't pop their stuff. So don't act like you just figured it out. Or false flag terrorism. It's like, yeah, dude, we know. We got common sense. Where have you been? You had to be told.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and we touched on this in the last segment, but I think it actually does bear repeating. They act like this is all new. They act like they're some sort of prophet for discovering it. But not only that, they also say you should be afraid because of this, and will also never admit they were wrong about it.
No.
So it really just creates this environment of, frankly, narcissism where they don't think they can be wrong. They think they are the ultimate authority because they are discovering something new, even though it's not new.
And it's very easy. It's very cult mentality because I used to study cults exhaustively, where it's like the Mormon Church, for example. I'm not talking about an individual. I'm talking about the institution. If you dare question or bring any evidence to the contrary of what they're saying, immediately you're persecuting them. It's an easy out. And honestly, what the entire alternative media is built on is the foundation of victim mentality. And when we ask ourselves, what is victim mentality? Victim mentality is essentially a person who refuses to take personal responsibility for their experience.
Yeah.
So that's what alternative media is built on. Lack of responsibility.
Yeah, like how many videos get put out in the alternative media space every week talking about this new mass conspiracy that's going to kill 500 million people in the next 2 weeks. Does anyone remember Jade Helm?
I do.
Does anyone remember Jade Helm happening? I don't.
No, yeah. Well, that's when Dylan. That's when the Mangala effect takes place.
Oh, don't get me fucking started. Don't get me fucking started. I gotta go soon. I gotta go soon. Don't get me down.
Switches on the Mangala effect, and that's an X-Files reference. Yes, I'm saying Mangala and not Mandela effect. I'm deliberately making an X-Files reference. You fucking twits.
I haven't seen X-Files. It's on my list, but it's really long.
But yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, the entire alternative media and the circle that we're talking about is the Alex Jones sperm. It's built off of lack of personal responsibility for themselves.
Yeah, it's built on lack of personal responsibility, and you should be afraid of everything because everything is out to get you, even the things in the sky.
And then it's like, this is me. I'm a rubber meets the road type of guy. It's like, great. What do you? And I'm stealing this line. It's not my own, but it's like, I have been thankfully taught to ask myself consistently, okay, you just got some information. What are you going to do with the information? So now all these people are like, quote unquote, well, the very act of giving the information out itself is our activism. And I'm like,
that's not activism. That's teaching.
It's not even teaching.
Yeah, but if you assume all the information is true, then okay, you can make an argument it's teaching. I don't agree, but that's the closest I can give them.
Well, and I was driving down the road after we did our last little bits about this stupid shit. I'm like, you know what? I wonder how many of these fucking people that are regurgitating the same 4 stories all over again, like vaccines are bad. Well, all right, thanks for letting us know some shit we knew. 9/11 was an inside job.
I mean, I don't know. I almost feel like it's I don't know. I have this weird feeling that it's almost my job to disprove some of these conspiracy theories now because I helped to spread them for a while and I don't buy them anymore.
You got to make a little bit of recompense, I think, but then let it go and start laughing. But but no, what I was thinking was like the other day when I was on my drive, I was like, I wonder how many of these fuckers that talk on, quote unquote alternative radio have actually for themselves utilize the Freedom of Information Act to write to Washington, D.C. and say, give me all the documents that you have on MK Ultra, and have read it themselves.
Single
digits. Or, hey, D.C., Congress, can you please give me all the information that you have on, Project Paperclip or NASA? Not a fucking one of them, dude, because all they're doing is listening to other YouTube videos and conspiracy theorists, and they're acting like they're the first ones to discover this shit.
They're glorified aggregators. I mean, you kind of synthesized it. They're glorified aggregators.
Aggregators. I'm tripping right now. Explain the word. I could Google it, but fuck all that.
Like an aggregate data source where you take a bunch of different data from different sources and you put it into one place.
Yeah, that, and I mean, like I was saying in the last, they're old school. Like these, whenever for one thing, doing live radio or doing anything live is maybe novel for a minute, but it's like, dude, we've evolved. Nobody wants to listen to fucking anything live anymore. You're wasting your fucking time with that shit. I do 17 days a week of live. Yeah, and nobody gives a shit because everybody wants to download it at their own convenience anywhere. That's why podcast is just destroying live radio for one.
Yeah, I mean, I still do live radio, frankly, because that's a simpler format to figure out for me than trying to set up a podcast, and just make it a podcast later. But yeah, podcasting is the way of the future.
It's the way of the future, and
go to space, man. Podcasts go to space.
Well, everything goes to space.
Movies are going to space. Tom Cruise is making a movie in space.
I'm telling you, dude, we are the Netflix for the gods.
Dude, we are. So that's why this season is so fucking crazy.
This season's fucked up, but it's great for people like us. But no, dude, I was going somewhere with that shit. But yeah, none of these guys are actually like combing through the information themselves, and they call themselves like researchers. Like I even make a goof in my bio, one of the bios I have out there. I'm like, Daniel Louis Crumpton is a researcher of ancient religions, and it's like that means I got stoned and watched documentaries on YouTube back in '08. You know what I mean? But I openly like joke about it. These bitches ain't in libraries. These bitches don't even have a library card. You know what I mean? And
well,
it's like,
I mean, Daniel, how can they have a library card when libraries are part of the conspiracy?
it's a part of the conspiracy. That's how they track, trace, and database what you read, and there's dots on your mailbox. And it's like, dude, fucking break. At the end of the day,
the Dewey Decimal System is rigged.
It's fucking rigged. It's a way of tracking your DNA so that Bill Gates can make a supercomputer to make French fries. Some stupid shit like that. It's like,
my favorite is how many of these conspiracy theories have like 38 steps that involve 10,000 people, and everything goes perfectly. No errors. And then we get to the place where like, you do realize how improbable that is, right? They say, yeah, well, can you disprove it? No, burden of proof is on you, not me.
Yeah, and you can't disprove a negative, you dumb fuck.
But you also can't have an argument rooted in logical fallacies with these people because they won't understand it.
No, I mean, and they'll sit there and harp about, Jesus Christ. You know, you can, I'm not stealing this line. I actually coined this phrase. You can reduce their shit to zero very easily. Because at some point, if you go, okay, throw a topic at me that these motherfuckers like bank on, Dylan. Throw any topic at me.
9/11.
9/11. Okay. So we're going to play pretend for a minute. You're going to be the 9/11 researcher who has a YouTube that you say is a network, and you're like a researcher. Okay. So we're going to play pretend. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
And I'm going to be the objective thinker.
Got it.
Because I'm thoughtful.
Got it.
Okay. So Dylan, you're saying 9/11 was an inside job?
Well, yes. You see, jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
Oh, where are you getting that information from, Dylan?
The architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth.
And who are they, Dylan?
Architects and engineers who don't believe in 9/11.
Where can I find their material?
Google architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, Daniel.
Okay, but Dylan, have you ever been to Ground Zero?
No, that would be dangerous.
Oh, Dylan, do you have a degree in engineering?
No, my degree is in philosophy.
Okay. Dylan, do you have any kind of a degree in physics at all?
No, I defer to the experts.
Okay. Dylan, what actual physical evidence or application of the scientific method do you have personally that doesn't go outside of yourself to a Google engine or a YouTube video you saw? Do you have that 9/11 was an inside job?
You're targeting me.
You're right. You're being targeted for bullshittery. I'm the bullshittery police, and I call it.
Shill.
Oh, I'm a shill now. Am I also a pedophile?
Perhaps. Keep talking.
Hey, dude, you guys are crazy.
You reduce the shit to zero. It's like, no, you're not a researcher, motherfucker. You watch the YouTube video, and you hope
there are legit researchers out there. We know some of them.
Yeah, but see, look, one of the most greatest. Daniel uses words good.
You have good English today.
I speak
You
good.
speak really goodly.
Really good.
You have the best. You have the best words.
Best words with my tiny invisible accordion. Anywho, Jesus, what was I about to say?
I don't. Something about I don't remember either.
Oh, it was good too.
Wait, we were reducing them to zero.
Reducing it to zero. Okay. Yeah, and you're a shill.
No, you're the shill.
Oh, I'm the shill, and I'm also a pedophile. I'm also all these other horrible things for even asking you to produce some type of evidence.
Exactly. Yes.
To your claims.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that doesn't sound like a cult mentality at all, bro.
No. I'm a serious researcher.
It's very serious researcher. So, so go ahead.
Do you know how hard I work every day? I barely go outside because of all the research I do.
Are you also on government subsidy?
Yes.
Everybody I know in the alternative media who says that the Federal Reserve is a privately owned bank is on a subsidy of some type. Am I lying or not?
No, you're 100% right. And I
Right.
mean,
Right.
that's a hypocrisy I can accept, frankly.
And I
Because
guarantee you, if you were to ask any of these motherfuckers that got liberty in any of their bullshit, hey, what'd you do with your stimulus? They're gonna be like, I bought laptops for my empire. So
can I hit one more group, please?
Go for it.
The
Before you do, put a bookmark. Don't forget it because now I remembered that important thing I was going to say.
Okay.
One of the greatest philosophers.
We got 4 minutes.
That's fine. Because once I say this, I've shot my load. One of the greatest philosophers of our time that had any statement to say on the alternative media was Gyllenhaal playing the part of Mysterio, where he said, people want to believe something, and now they'll believe anything. He was fucking right, and that's the alternative.
It's a very good quote.
It's true.
Yes. No, a very good quote to pull. Okay, last group I want to hit because I'm sure I'll find more, but we'll do another addendum when that time comes. The people who at one time, out of one side of their mouth, say, we need all our guns to protect us from the government when they turn bad, and out of the other side of their mouth say, the cops are the ultimate authority. Don't you dare disrespect them. Guys, you're not even trying.
Well, with the whole COVID thing, it really has showed the fucking cognitive dissonance with Trumpism and libertyism. It's like, motherfucker, do you know? It's like, dude, how could you be liberty and support anybody who uses executive orders, but then go along with a voluntary quarantine? It's like, I'm looking at these people like, fucking IQ level. Do you have the IQ of a fucking eggplant? Do you not hear the words that are coming out of your fucking mouth?
They don't believe in liberty. I'm honestly a little ashamed it took me as long as it did to figure it out.
Nah, don't be so hard on yourself.
Because it was, looking back, it was really obvious.
Man,
do you think we've hit them enough for one day?
I mean, it's the gift that keeps on giving, because at this point, anybody in the alternative media, it's like they're so fucking invested in it, they can't just do what we would hope they would do, which is go, fuck, these guys are right, and pack it up and, I don't know, make something of their life while they still have a chance, because everybody's trying to reinvent fucking tinfoil with this alternative media conspiracy theory shit. It's like, dude, guys, we know what you're really in it for, or what you're trying to do, and Alex Jones had the monopoly on it. Would you just fucking give it up and go do something productive, like make wood fucking furniture out of wood or something?
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, there's only so many conspiracies out there. You can't keep recycling them.
Not to mention, at the end of the goddamn day, and I've said this shit before too. It's like when you listen to these assholes and you reduce it to zero and you go, okay, so name any conspiracy, Dylan.
JFK, but I gotta go in like 30 seconds.
No worries. All right. Let's not do JFK. Let's do something current, like, I don't know, child sex slave rings. Okay? And I go, okay, so let's play pretend really quick, Dylan. You're a person who believes in this whole, I don't know, QAnon or whatever the fuck it is, Pizzagate, child pedophile rings. And I'm not saying that shit don't exist.
Yeah, but it doesn't exist to the degree of coordination that they think it does.
Okay, so you're going to pretend to be one of these guys, and I'm going to be the objective thinker again. So pitch me whatever conspiracy that's current, Dylan.
All right, so Jeffrey Epstein, Trump might have been pictured with him, but Trump was secretly there to get Epstein caught. But Bill Clinton, he was there to get sex.
Is that a real one? Is that a real conspiracy?
Probably.
That's fucking stupid. Jesus Christ, dude. My nose just started bleeding. I'm not in character right now, but that's fucking retarded. If somebody lets that shit go to their brain and then come out of their mouth, dude, I'm at the point where just fucking eat a goddamn bullet at this point. You're doing humanity no good if you let that shit come to your brain and then you didn't even roll that motherfucker around and you said it. That's the dumbest shit I've heard since Earth is fucking flat.
All right, I got one dumber than that. You want to go?
Yes. 2, 1. Beat my fucking paper with your scissors.
All right, the conspiracy theory that said JFK Jr. was secretly alive and gonna come back at a rally in support of Trump to fight the deep state.
This sounds like it needs trailer music.
It does.
In a world gone mad. Yeah. Anyhow, no, but okay, so no, let me get you in the ballpark of what I'm talking about. Okay, so
no, I actually gotta go, Daniel.
I hate that. All right, dude.
Sorry, I do actually have to go. I have work in the morning.
All right, to be continued.
All right, we got this.
Later.
Later.